master of the buy. With my wisdom and experience, I'm setting the pace, turning yard sale junk into gold and in the race.
Oh, dear God, save me.
Was that Dusty?
I thought
That's
it was
rude.
a Tom show for a minute.
Just to show up in the middle of my screen like that, Tom. That's rude.
Yeah, what the hell?
Was that Dusty in there?
Yeah, I found that old video on my on somewhere. That was when the four of us went on vacation to Gatlinburg, and I think it was around when I was about to turn 50, and we were doing the testing of all the damn distillery things that we were so drunk that first night.
You got to let Tom in, or just keep him in timeout because he did that.
Oh hell, I thought he was already in. I was looking at the bottom. I should leave him in timeout.
Well, he put himself in timeout because we can't hear a word he's saying.
That's the best part. Why
I
didn't you
know.
say anything, Steve?
Why say anything?
Well, I muted it because I start coughing real hard, so I don't. And now you don't want to hear me cough. Texas Band-Aid. Texas Bandit. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nobody thinks anything about Phil. Hey Phil, if you see gay everywhere, it's because you were looking for gay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to business here. Did you
Not that
start
there's anything wrong
filling
with
out
that.
your application to become a White House correspondent?
No.
I got my credentials back already.
You need to get on that, Scott. They're opening it up to social media content creator influencers.
Yeah,
That's
because
huge.
he's
I do so
he's
much.
the
new.
first choice. Screw Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's
press secretary said was everybody can be a White House correspondent.
Which I like that idea, to be honest.
I don't want to sit through the applications they get. Oh my God, how many?
Well, I loved how she said, if they're illegal, they broke our laws.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I kept looking around. I'm like, where's her fucking binder? She's supposed to have a binder this thick and not know a damn thing. I'm like,
And she actually made eye contact with the reporters. She wasn't always looking down at her book. Thank you, Nessa. I do feel somewhat better. The drugs help.
I mean, it's so insane. I mean, if you start removing this is what happens when you. And a perfect example when you remove a DEI hire. Perfect example. You put the best person up there, somebody who's qualified to do the job, and can handle the position, versus that fucking Q-tip, who spent the last 3.5 or however long she did it, explaining to her why it was so important for a lesbian to do that. Who gives two fucks who you sleep with? You can't do the job. You can't do the job. It's just so stupid. And this stuff is starting to go away. So the next company on the chopping block is Costco. Costco is doubling down, counting on the fact that they think that they're big enough to get away with DEI. They don't realize the American people will bring Costco to their fucking knees. We can make you and break you. Ask Bud Light. Bud Light is still not recovered.
Yeah, and they're not sure that they will. My mom. I just talked to my mom. She was making pancakes this morning.
Yeah, Costco's got probably 10 days before I cancel my membership. We've been members since. God, we've been members forever since they opened in Wilmington. We've been members since 2005. About 10 days.
I've never understood big companies on either side of the political spectrum taking a political stand. It doesn't make sense to me. You're alienating you're alienating at least half your people.
It makes no sense. I mean, financially for these companies, it makes no sense. You just do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be it's not about social media. It's not about social. hire the best person for the job, treat people right, run your fucking business. This is not about, you know, it's insane.
Well, it's like the actors and actresses. I think Meryl Streep is an amazing actress.
I can't stand her.
Wait a minute, you didn't let me finish. But I can't stand her political views, and therefore I will not go see anything that she's in. If I want to see it, I'll wait for it to come on Netflix, where I'm already paying for the service.
Yeah,
I'm
somebody drug out that nasty Glenn Close the other day and giving her, like anybody cares about her. She looks like, good God Almighty, she looks like some kind of freakish science experiment.
Was she talking about her hair?
Uh,
She looked like she looked
I thought she
looked
was
like
dead.
this.
Glenn Close.
Yeah,
I thought she was dead.
uh,
I don't
she
know.
looked like she should be.
I'll still watch them no matter what they believe in. But
oh, Andy Glass, 100% right. Amy Schumer.
I
She
do know.
might be funny. I can't absolutely stand anything about her. She is, as a person and her views and the way she treats people, she's disgusting. I can't watch her.
I don't think she's funny. I never did. But
I don't know. I've
even
never.
if I did, I'd still watch her. It wouldn't bother me her political views, but I never did find her funny.
Okay.
But it's.
I had to
I don't want
I had to Google her and see who she was.
I don't understand.
I know her Saturday Night Live, but
It's the same thing with reselling. You treat people with respect, kindness. You do things you're supposed to do in this business, especially if they're sourcing locally. And relationships can get you a long way, but people just discount these things. Same thing with a big business and relationship to your customers. You've got to maintain. You can't alienate half of them and expect to succeed. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, if you sell clothes, you'd be an idiot to go, I don't want anybody who thinks this way to buy my clothes because I don't want that. Who cares what they do with it? You're going to treat them the same. You're going to treat your customer the same. It's to put these stances out there and all this carrying on is just insane. Yeah, the celebrities, Tom. One of my favorite actors of all time is just a left wing nut, and I've quit following him, watching any of his movies, anything. It's because you can't separate. In my mind, I can't separate the two.
And who would that be if you?
Mm.
Come on, say it, spit it out.
Although, yeah, I gotta quit watching movies.
Wouldn't be Nero, would it?
No.
Wouldn't be Hanks, would it?
No.
Wouldn't be the Sweetwater Legend, would it?
no.
Grandpa,
Yeah,
I thought you were on a
you're
cruise.
right. It's a Sweetwater Legend.
I wouldn't listen to him either.
Rock 2028.
All he does is go on about Bigfoot and shit.
Because you don't want to give him any damn publicity. So go look into John Cusack. John Cusack's always one of my favorites. Go look into him and how disgusting a human being is.
So,
It's
Somebody's selling.
yeah,
Well, that sounds like a message. Message from a buyer.
Oh yeah, De Niro's another one. I can't stand De Niro, and he's in one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the movie Heat. Can't watch it because him and Al Pacino are both douchebags.
offer declined. Well, good. I'll sell it to somebody else.
I mean, if you've never seen Heat, what an incredible movie! I can't watch it again because they're douchebags. It's
See, I like John Cusack too. My favorite movie, the favorite movie he made was the one up in Chicago, where he's a hitman. And it's
but
just,
it can't separate in my mind. I can't separate them. I can't enjoy the movie anymore because all you think about is how much of a douchebag these people are. But
Well, I guess maybe I'm in a good position. I never watch movies anyway, so I'm trying to think of these movies you guys are talking about. I have no clue because I haven't seen them.
What was the one where he was a juror? I thought that was a pretty good movie, but no.
Yeah, see, haven't seen that one either.
a slouchy thought. Larry, what's happening? What's up? Good morning. It's just I don't understand. And like and the idiot yesterday. Look at Selena Gomez crying. I mean, it tells you who these people are and the publicity they're trying to get. Where are the tears for the people of Western North Carolina? Where are the tears for all the people of the Southern California fires? I mean, your nationalities. I don't even think she's even Mexican. She's other nationalities. Isn't she?
I don't know.
Don't know. That is a show I actually enjoy.
All these fucking criminals that are
she's
being
on.
deported right now. Who cares? It's just okay. So while we're on this topic, I got an interesting take on all this. So for those of you who already know my political, you'll enjoy this. The rest of y'all are probably
Wait, if you don't know his political views by the opening of this show today,
you're probably going to click thumbs down and leave, which is leave your comments. I don't care. So Trump is currently making reselling great again. He is helping eliminate competition. How many of you guys in the chat and tell me if you're watching it later? Try to source at the bins. You can't tell me all these illegals and crazy and their kids running around the damn Goodwill bins are taking your shit. It's hard to take your shit when they've been deported. And at yard sales too, how many times you've been beat out by these people who are buying everything to send back to Mexico or wherever the hell they're doing? They're just they are leeching off of all beer. They're just helping people get rid of their stuff. No, they are buying all this shit in bulk to send out of the country. The same thing with the money. You want to stop illegal immigration? Tax the hell out of the money they transmit out of here. Once you make it where it's financially impossible for them,
most of them are here working to send money back to their families.
You come to this country, you leech off our services, you take all this stuff for free, you burden the society, and then you send every dollar because you don't have to spend your own money. You send it all back to third world countries. Man, the hell with this.
Well, even though, I mean, there are like I had some neighbors, and they owned the house next door. They had all their immigration work done. I mean, they were from Nicaragua. They sent a tremendous amount of money back to their parents.
Yeah, whether they're here legally or not, that's what they're doing, is sending money back.
And I'm not talking about if you've legally come this way, you're
And
free to do
fine.
whatever. If you've legally come this way, you're free to do whatever you want to, just like anybody,
Right.
any other normal. It's all the people that are cheating the system. So Lack says, "Love thy neighbor." My neighbor can get in his own fucking yard. Tell my neighbor to get out of my yard. We can love him.
I can tell you one industry that's already seeing an impact is the delivery drivers.
You know,
Because a lot of delivery drivers are not here legally.
Just think of a government that's supposed to take care of the citizens, and what do? Not only do they encourage these MFers to come over here and break our laws, and every one of them is a criminal. When they swim across the river, they're a coyote under the tunnel. They are automatically criminals. And so what do we do?
Did you see that tunnel?
Let's give them driver's license, for God's sakes, and let them run around in society and act like they're supposed to be here.
well, everybody. I mean, you know, that's coming to a world. What was it? They had like 600 people coming to the border instead of 3,000.
You want to know how you fix this? All these government officials that are so bleeding heart, whatever, who are breaking our laws by if you give an illegal a driver's license, you're aiding and abetting them in this fucking country. You should be arrested.
Yeah.
In some states,
Absolutely.
yes, they do give driver's licenses to
Arrest them
illegals.
all.
In the other states, the delivery drivers who are not legal are doing it by stealing accounts. It's a big thing. Trust me. Now,
Well, I'm
luckily where
about
I'm
to
at, we don't have the
report it.
problem. But
Anissa,
I
wait
mean,
a minute. Wait a minute. Anissa, why were you buying a Bic lighter? You don't smoke. You don't do drugs because they're all unhealthy for you. What did you need a big lighter to put all that pollution in the sky? Come on.
Smoking a little grass, man.
That's to check fur. Okay.
to check fur, what do you do with that? I don't
it's not
light
real
it on.
fur.
Yeah,
If
I
it
know.
melts,
If
if
it
it
melts.
melts.
I know a lot of women would be a little insulted if I was checking fur with a light.
but it's
Where did your mind just go, John?
Real people wear fake fur.
but
That's the
the
family
the
motto.
deck is so stacked against a regular American. It's and so many people are having a fit that the playing field is starting to move the other way. It is
At 7:30 this morning, I had a Walmart delivery.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I knew it was I would happen to look out the kitchen window and see because there was we have a door that goes directly out on our sidewalk. So I've instead of having drapes up, I got that film that's like clouded. You know what I'm talking about? It's got designs in it. Anyway, you can't see in and you can't see out. But all I could see was these red flashing lights. And so I opened the door and looked out, and it was a damn delivery guy. And I'm like, "Man, you're early." He says, you got the best money's made early in the morning." I'm like, okay.
Debbie. They don't get a pass, Debbie. They're part of the problem.
Start delivering at
The
6.
problem is when you've been successful at something, it triggers something in your mind that you think that you're better than everybody else, and you think that you should have the ability to tell other people what to do because it's what is good for them. And that's what's wrong with our government is you got so many people up there that think instead of enacting laws and doing the thing, they think they know better than you, and they think they know how you should live, and they think they think they have a right to tell you what to do and how to do it because it's for your own benefit because you're too fucking stupid to make your own decisions.
You said a bad word.
I
Did
don't
you
care.
just cough up a lung?
It's
Fine.
not. It's all the way around.
Deported.
It's,
We're gonna get shipped deported from the dock, man. I'm going to Mexico for 10 days.
No, they're gonna send you right back.
No, they like me. They like me down there.
I mean, give me a break.
But are you going legally or illegally?
If I walk down to the Rio Grande and started wading the other way, what the fuck what are they gonna do to me?
They're gonna shoot you.
They're gonna throw me in a jail or shoot me and send me back.
They're gonna pick you up and make you, work their fields. You got to pick their corn.
What gets me though is
I got to get out of here.
as much money as John's got, and if he flies into London right now without his passports, they're going to take him to a little room, sit his ass down, and then the next flight back to the U.S., his butt's going to be on it. So what's the difference?
You ever see those YouTube? I watch it on YouTube. I guess it was a series, but they have one from Canada and one in the UK. But it's the airport, and people are trying to come in countries, and they don't let you in.
They don't play any games. You don't even get to the gate. They take you right over to this little room over here, and you sit there till your next flight.
And that's right.
I can't get on that ship without my passport.
Nope. Well, you could, but you'd have to go in with the baggage.
Yeah, I would have to sneak on, but I mean, you can't just walk on.
They check your ID like 3 times before you get on the damn ship. Well, y'all have fun. Have a couple of kiss on the lips for me.
Yeah.
Drop some money in the daggum slot machine.
Mexico and Hawaii too.
Yeah, Mexico's only the first couple of stops. After that, we go to Hawaii.
Oh, wow. Y'all must be gone, what, like 15, 16 days?
26.
26. God, you love your wife.
He's jealous.
Wait,
Don't be
wait,
jelly.
this is his birthday cruise.
This is my birthday cruise. This
He
is
did all this.
listen. This is the shortest one we have this year. We got a 42-day coming up.
Where are you going?
London. What the long one?
Yeah.
London first, then we fly to Athens, Greece overnight, and then we're in the Mediterranean for 28 days.
Cool beans.
42 days total. Peace out.
I,
Hey, remember, keep voting Trump. My taxes are going down. They promised me.
I'll be in Ohio.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, that was your cruise moment.
Oh, he gone.
No, he was leaving anyway. I just helped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's no, there's no difference. So Tamara is talking about she doesn't watch a person because that doesn't even think doesn't even think that's on eBay anymore. But in their videos they come across, folks. There's not a okay, and the difference in resellers, it can be organizational things, it can be effort, but for finding things, there's no different. You're not any different than anybody else. There's no. Don't kid yourself to think there's some skill about finding things. Okay, so the show's about relationships. There are people who get an advantage over you because they build relationships. It's harder for me as an introvert, but there are a couple places I go to that I know the people, and they'll and I'll ask questions and they'll answer, but it's most of them, everybody has the same opportunity, and to talk down to another reseller in a video, like if I'm out like in my thrifting video, I'm just out walking around. I'm no better than anybody. Somebody asked me about a black phone in one of the comments. I never even saw the damn thing.
Did you not see that black phone there? It was
I
sitting
saw
right
the
up there.
phone. It was a nice older, dial phone.
Somebody asked me how much was it. I'm like, what phone?
So wait,
I'm gonna go
am
back
I
to the
reading? Am I reading it right? Somebody called Tamara out in a YouTube video. Is that what happened?
No, she said she felt talked down to when she watched it.
Oh, felt talked down to. Okay. There's people out there just trying to make videos for money. Although, yes.
Scott, when you're doing like the one that was posted a couple days ago, the thrift store one, are you walking around with your phone on like a stick, or are you wearing the jacket? I mean the chest.
Yeah, it was in my hand.
Okay. Anyway, those were really good videos.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going out today. It might be tomorrow, but I'll do it again. And the reason why I do that is because as simple as that, the stuff I see and then the stuff people see in the video are completely different. I learn a lot of stuff. I need to pay more attention.
I can tell you.
I know rotary phones are money. I know they're good money. I never saw it.
The problem with those type of things here, rotary phones, the thrift stores know they're worth money, and so they price them at $20 or some crap.
That was in the expensive store, so there's no telling what they stuck on that damn thing. It's probably still there. That's the Value Village here.
I can't even buy it. I can't even buy those phones at yard sales anymore. Everybody seems to know that they're worth something, and
that was the one that had the cheapest,
$30 for them.
The cheapest Keurig was like $15.88. They had them as high. I've seen this. In that Value Village, I've seen Keurigs as high as like $57. No shit. It's $57 for a Keurig. No shit.
You can get a new one for that, can't you?
You can't even give them away most of the time at thrift stores.
Go look at Walmart. The cheapest Keurigs, even the cheap models, are $60, $70 now. If they do anything fancy, they're over $100.
You can get one the cheap one for like $40 on Black Friday, but that's about as cheap as you're ever going to get.
I was looking for coffee. If you look at one of the coffee videos, the last one I went all the way down to the coffee thing and found the one that was half price clearance that was already gone was $37. That was half. And so I started looking at them. I'm like, who are they really 140? And what does this thing do? Nothing special.
Are you parting those out, or are you selling them?
Depends on what model. Depends on what model they are.
I was given a Keurig, and it's got the for my son and his wife, and it lasted about 3 months and it quit working.
Can y'all hear this? The whole fucking building is shaking. If y'all get that damn piece of shit plane away from here,
What is it?
a goddamn Osprey.
Oh. Because you can tell one of the older Learjets when they come in or they fly over your house because they're loud as hell.
They go up and down a runway, and if for some reason they stop here on the other side, right out here in the middle, or around all the other planes, facing this way, and just hover. And I mean, my air conditioner is rattling against the wall. The whole building's shaking.
You know what they're doing? Red dog to red dog leader. I'm gonna sit over here by the bald old guy, just piss him off all morning long.
Yeah, Mark, it's not drones.
When do we get told about what the New Jersey drones were really?
We did.
We did.
Yesterday they said they were FAA approved, and then there were a lot of local ones. They kind of made it out like it was not really a big deal. Tom just died.
Okay.
I still think they were looking for nuclear material, like a lot of people talk about.
I think that might be.
No, it's not. It's Dollar General looking for new sites for their stores.
Could be too.
So, how much effort to cleaning the machines? Tom, I will run stuff through. I'll put a little bit of water in them to make sure they do work, and then I'll just run vinegar through them.
I suppose it depends on how bad they are too. You know.
Yeah, I do have some descaler if it looks like it doesn't put out the right amount of water. You know, when you look at it and open it up, you can see inside them whether you know how absolutely dirty they are. And the dirtier they are, the more I'll just run the descaler through it instead.
The stuff inside, like your thing that holds your Keurig pods, that's dishwasher safe, ain't it?
Yeah,
we've run them through the dishwasher before, so that kind of stuff I've done.
So printers is just basically wipe everything down. If it's a inkjet printer, I will run the clean print head cycles several times just to make sure. But that's more for the cartridges than anything else because the cartridges on the print for those machines.
I refuse to buy printers anymore. And it's not because it's just because here, when you get a printer at a cheap price, it's because it should have been in the garbage. Every one I've bought in the last 2 years have garbage.
Phil is they do more than firmware and software updates, Phil. Because if it was just firmware and software, they wouldn't take the props and everything else off of them.
This is a general aviation airport behind you, right? Has it changed?
No, it's the small business airport.
That's what I thought because I flew into it one time
But
with a
there's
friend.
Now that the last 10 years, Tom, they have built a company called Ulista has come in, and they have a big section of it, and they're a military contractor out of Alaska. The Osprey they work on the software and hardware upgrades, and also the Blackhawks, the helicopters. They bring those both in here. So those are the two vehicles. Every now and then you see a Chinook, but it's mainly those two. At any time, they're building another. Tim, not unless I see evidence that it was leaking. If it's leaking or whatever, Tim, I'll wipe everything down. But for the most part, those machines are pretty solid.
But I flew in. A friend of mine's daughter-in-law or future daughter-in-law was going to go with them to Europe, and she left her passport. And she's from not Huntersville, where you're at, and Huntersville. That's about 45 minutes up the road from me. Huntsville. Anyway, he flew in, picked up her passport from her father, and we turned around, went to the bathroom, got a Coke, and then flew up back out.
Because the building over there is for this airport is no bigger than like a regular house. It's not very big. It may be a little bit, but there's hangars that are that way. Since we've been here, we bought this house in 2017. They built the first Ulista hangar, then they built the second one. The third one's going up now. They've built a big concrete pad to hold these things.
Right.
So they work on 6 to 8 Ospreys at a time. You'll see them come in, and they'll be on the concrete, and then all of a sudden one will disappear, and they'll go down to 5, and it looks like maybe one of them took off. No, it went into the building because they're disassembling.
Is there a lot of security over there?
No, very little.
Really?
You can ask next time we see Tracy. Tracy's works at the fire. There's a so the way the law is set up is, in order for Ulyssa to operate and to do anything, they have to have their own fire team because there's not a permanent fire station at this airport. And so Tracy works for the company that supplies fire protection for the Ulyssa.
Good morning, Jake.
But there's no security. There's no run around. You can
Any more than they have at airports nowadays.
Man, when one of our dogs got loose in the middle of the night, but we had Scrappy had dementia, and he'd run all over the airport. We had to do it twice. It'd be like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I'm out there riding around with a flashlight and carrying on. Not the first person that's ever said a word.
When I was a kid, old enough to drive, my dad and 3 other fellas had a Cessna 172, and back in those days, my dad would say, "Go check and see if the plane needs fuel, and if it does, tell him to go ahead and fuel it up." So I'd ride over there, just go through the gate, walk over to this plane, stick the key in it, check the gauges on it. And nowadays, you just about strip search you going into that airport. And it's a little rinky-dink Rock Hill airport.
Yeah, this one they don't care if you've got the code to get into the gate over there. I hear the gate opening. There's nobody to search you. You just go to your own plane. The guy who owned this house, the original guy who, when this house was built, we bought it from his estate. He owned an airplane. He was an engineer, but owned an airplane, and he bought this lot because he could see the airplane from here.
Dang.
And so his family ended up, when we were at closing, they're like, "Do you know anybody who needs an airplane? Because we're going to have somebody fly this to Birmingham so we can sell it." But you could when we first bought it, you could still see it. They're like, "It's that one of you could."
Because folks, if you don't know it or not, airplanes, whether it's a little Cessna 150 or a Gulfstream 700, those bitches are expensive. Now the expense goes up the bigger the plane, but they are an expensive toy. Because they have to have annuals and all this kind of stuff, the parking out of the airport. That's the reason my dad had 3 partners. Because nobody flew it enough to justify it on their own. But it was cool.
Yeah, the Osprey's back, shaking everything again.
Well, go over there and crank up your G5 and let the engine sit there and run for a little bit and shake up their buildings, Scott.
This is as close as I got to an airplane.
You got a drone.
Oh yeah, I got a drone. Oh, and I can fly it. All I got to do is update the software. I can do whatever I want to. They took off the geofence.
Yeah, Jabus, planes eat money like horses eat hay.
What's the geofence?
So all the DJI drones in their firmware detect whether you're based on maps how close you are to an airport and won't allow operation. They disabled that a few months ago, and now none of that. So
It seems a little dangerous.
They were they were the only manufacturer that did that, and so they were the last one to take it off.
Yeah,
it's a big deal a few months ago. We talked about it in the time you've been gone.
Of course you have. I'm behind it.
Mark came on and talked about it a little bit, I believe.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that's a busy joker. I mean, he's got gigs, a lot of gigs that he's lined up.
Good for him,
Mr. Drone Pilot himself.
There is a lot of call for it. If you're willing to go through all the stuff that you have to go through to get where he's at.
Most people won't do the licensing. Was it a 157 licensing or whatever the heck it is?
Yeah.
But it's great for home inspections, and I mean they're doing it for power lines now, power line inspections, and things like that. You could make some cash if you really wanted to get into it.
My brother has a land surveying business, and he uses it a lot because he's got a program that he can, like a 300-acre tract. He can punch in the coordinates of like a property corner at the very back of that property, and that sucker will zip out there, and he can look to see if the actual pin's there because neighbors are complaining that you didn't set a pin and blah 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 blah.
Jake says he should buy his drone domain name. I got a little story about a domain name that I used to speculate on domain names and buy a few and sell them, not for very much money, but you make a little profit. So I bought Team Crypto back in, I don't know, almost 20 years ago now. No, 15 years ago now. And I used it as a cryptozoology website for a little while, and then I let it go. You know what? I just went to look that up yesterday or 2 days ago. You know what the guy's trying to sell that website for now? Not the website, the domain name, because it has crypto in it. $50,000.
Wow.
I let it drop. My dumbass let that drop. But there was no such thing as cryptocurrency when I had it. So the only crypto you would use was cryptozoology.
You don't know about stuff like that because remember back in the .com age, people were dropping millions of dollars on these damn companies that had nothing behind them, and they went under. Who would have thunk?
Well, I used to do really well with low end domain names that you could speculate on what would be popular. You can still do it. It's just harder nowadays.
So there's a reason
And-
Marcus posted a reason
Yeah.
why.
That makes sense, Mark. Even Mark can be right every once in a while.
So the federal government wants to be in charge of. That's the way I read that.
Yeah, that's what I read. I read that they're overstepping their bounds.
Although I'd rather have the freedom to not have the geofence in the first place, but
Because I believe it states that anything not mentioned in the Constitution, those powers are left to the state. And George might have been smart, and all his friends and Thomas Jefferson might have been brilliant. But I don't think they put any clause in there about air travel. Don't remember reading anything about air travel and controlling those kind of things.
I think there is freedom of travel or something like that. But
Oh, yes, there is freedom to travel.
yeah, you're what do they call those people?
Sovereign
Citizens. Yeah.
Sovereign citizens. Yeah.
I love those YouTube videos.
I can't stand them. I used to watch them.
love them. Not because of the people, but because of these officers. I could never be a police officer to have to deal with these suckers because the first thing I would do was I'd smash that damn window and drag his or her ass out through that window. I mean, I just don't have the patience for these dumbasses. But I love watching these people. But yeah, we have the right to travel.
I love watching them. I like to watch them when they get into the courtroom and the judge just tears them apart. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, there's this elderly black lady from like Pennsylvania, Michigan, one of those states. And they start that crap with her and she shuts them down right from the get-go. Yes, you have the right by law to freely travel between states, but you do not have the right to operate a motor vehicle on public streets without a license issued by the state that you reside in. Well, I don't live in a state. I don't have a address. Well, you don't have a driver's license then. I mean, she was on his ass like grass. Anyway, it doesn't take much to entertain an old man anymore.
Yeah, I can watch them for a minute, and I'm like, why am I watching these idiots? And I end up turning it.
Joanna, you mentioned your uncle or somebody's learning how to fly. They got some deep wallets, deep pockets. That stuff's expensive nowadays.
Yeah, because with the flight hours, you've got to the rental of the plane, the flight hours, and those things make it expensive for sure.
I had soloed because my dad wanted me to have my license in case something happened to him while we were flying. Somebody could fly the plane, and I had soloed, and then his partners decided they wanted to sell the plane. So that's as far as I got with soloing.
So you must have been so bad at it that you scared everybody, and they
No,
sold.
you know what? I really did not like flying the plane. I don't mind. I love flying, but I just really didn't like
Didn't
flying.
want to be in charge of it.
I did not really want to be a pilot. No.
So if you watch it, those are interesting videos. If you watch there's lots of people who record themselves pilots, and the stuff that these small pilots, all the lingo and keeping up with everything and everything they have to remember, it's a lot.
It is. And there's this one guy out of Florida that I watch a lot, and I can't remember his name, but he buys a lot of planes and fixes them up and sells them and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the one out of Florida I watched is a guy named Steve Canerco or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of them.
And then there's a couple of young ladies that fly too. That are one of them flies like for manufacturer. Once a plane does some of the delivery, once the plane has been made, she'll take it wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, an underwater drone. I think that's called a submarine. You're right, Eric.
Yeah. You know, I watch this. There's a YouTube channel, and if anybody's from the UK, you might know it. It's called Cruising the Cut, and it's about people that live on narrow boats in the UK. And the UK is just crisscrossed with these little canals, which back in the day during the Industrial Revolution, that's where the barges they moved product around. Anyway, there's a guy, like I said, I watch Dave who has Cruising the Cut, and he was talking to this young man, and his job is he moves people's narrow boats around from because you only go like 5 miles an hour. So it's
Now,
not
I've watched people do those, Tom, and I'm like, you know what? If I went to England, I definitely have to spend a week just doing that.
I would like to try. I would like to do one of those. But he gets paid a lot of money because it takes a lot of time to move people's narrowboats around. He said he was gone for 2 weeks because he had to fly to Scotland or take a rail up to Scotland and bring a narrowboat back down to London. I mean, it just takes because you have all these locks and all the stuff you have to go through, and most of them are manually, which means that you have to get off your boat and open and close gates and all this kind of stuff. If you're interested in any kind of history, you ought to check it out. And Cruising the Cut is the one that you need to do.
So it's not just there. I think Belgium's got them too.
Yeah, and over in over in Ireland, they've got them too. The ones in France are wider, and the ones up in Denmark are wider, or up in like Denmark and Netherlands.
Yeah, the ones in Belgium send me. So I watch a sailing channel on Sailing with the Winds, Gone with the Winds.
Yeah.
And their boat has been a disaster. So they were in Belgium on narrow boats. They've done England, but this time the last ones they did were in Belgium, and they were much bigger boat, nicer boat.
So anyway, if you get bored and want to look at something, it's really interesting, especially if you've ever thought about like living in an RV.
They give you very little training. They just sort of you rent it and they just let you go with them things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they are licensed. You think we're licensed over here? They have all kinds of license. I mean, licensed to operate boats on these narrow boats on the different canals. You know what, John? I wish there was, because I'd be playing it.
Narrowboat Simulator. There you go. Write the software. Get right on that.
If I knew how to do it, it would already be out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of AI tools that'll help you.
But like I said, it's. I would like to know if there's any narrowboaters that are resellers. I think that would. You would have to be like postcards or photos or something like that because you don't have a lot of room on those narrowboats.
Yeah, but and then what's the opportunity in Europe? I don't think that. Do they? I mean, they have boot sales and stuff, but they don't have the frequency of yard sales and stuff that we do. I don't
I
think.
don't know.
No.
I watch a few. Nick and Andrea Hill. They do really well over there. They're not narrow boaters, but they're
They're not
resellers.
narrow motors, yeah. Ah,
John, are you a
I mean,
programmer?
there's reselling opportunities.
hashtag narrowboat life.
I think I would like to vacation. Roberta has no interest in that. If she can't get room service, she's not participating.
I'm sure Johnny wouldn't care either.
Okay,
I mean,
well, I guess we'll have to leave them in London. We'll get on a narrowboat for a week. Uh,
that'd be great videos of who dies first.
our fat asses climbing these hills to open up the water flow and open up the gates. I mean, it's
Speaking. Okay, so here's another one. Have y'all seen the crazy stuff with Lyft in the last couple of days? So there's a rapper. I forget what her name is, but she's about the size of this building, and
Lizzo.
she ordered a Lyft, but she didn't order the XL. She ordered a regular one, and this dude showed up with a regular car, and he told her that there's no way she was too big to fit in this car and canceled the ride on her. And Lyft has fired him from using Lyft, and
That's bull.
she's suing Lyft for her lawyers called it segregation or something. I'm like, this woman is 4 bills easy. Have you ever look up your cars? Nobody ever thinks about this, but your manufacturer says if you've got a Toyota Corolla, it should only carry this much weight in passengers. When you've got somebody that's at least 4 bills,
Yeah, but the Lyft driver has the ability, just like an Uber driver or any other driver, to refuse that service. It's their personal vehicle. They don't have to let that person in.
first of
I'm
all,
not saying if it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that he should not be.
I'm thinking she just called the wrong service. She called regular Lyft and not forklift.
I cannot get into my
Right.
brothers, to my son's Corolla, or into my son's.
That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Backhoes
Kia.
are us.
Their little sedans. I can't get into them, and I think I'm pretty flexible to get into to things. But if somebody's of a size that you can't get into it,
You have to be able to. A Lyft driver and an Uber driver has to be able to cancel rides for any reason, for their own safety.
right?
That's
And I'm not saying that she
That's
wasn't
the-
going to be safe.
that's the
I'm just
rapper
saying-
right there. There you go, Tom. Get you some of that.
Well,
I'm
I'ma
just
tell you
saying
what,
that.
She
Why do you
can't
have a
even-
photo of her on your phone, Scott?
I looked it up. This is Google.
Yeah,
You see it?
okay, whatever. Sure.
Google.com.
That's bigger than Fluffy.
I typed in Lyft sued, and you know what the first suggestion by a fat woman. No lie.
You know what? She was just looking for that. She was waiting.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because you don't just automatically think, okay, that guy refused me a ride. I'm going to sue the whole company. That's not
Yeah.
your automatic thinking.
When I saw that on TikTok or whatever I saw it on, man, I lost a kneecap and sprained the other leg getting to the comments. Man, the comments did not the comments. I mean, everything from, should have called it like in the chat. Should have called a semi. Should have called. There is a service called Uber XL with larger vehicles. It should have eased. There should be a requirement if you're that size. You should have access to Lyft, but it should be you should be the same thing on planes. Thinking that they have to make planes bigger because now you pay for 2 seats because you take up that much space.
Well, it's the culture we live in. Fortunately, some of that is changing, but
if somebody had showed up in an F20, F250, or F2500 4-door and she couldn't get into the back seat of it, if he had said, "Well, ma'am, you can ride in the back,"
Oh my God!
she would have been She would have been offended by that.
I think she would have been offended no matter what. If she didn't fit in that car correctly, she would have been offended by that and sued the company.
And then all the
She was
comments
looking for a lawsuit.
about her cleanliness and not being able to reach certain areas, and you never could
Yeah,
get the seller to
whatever.
stay out of the car. I mean, the comments were crazy. comments were insane.
You know, people better be glad that I'm not rich as hell, because if I had enough money that I could say what I want to say, and if you don't like it, you can kiss my fucking ass.
I mean, there should be.
I would have said, well, unless you got a damn school bus or a church van, honey, you're not going to get into the damn Toyota Corolla or a Kia, whatever that
See,
little Kia is.
the problem is with Lyft, they put themselves in a terrible situation. That driver's going to sue them too. There's no way
He
that
better. He ought to.
the driver's going to sue. Lyft is in,
I bet you if I look through I don't have Lyft, but I have Uber. I bet you if I look through the terms of service right now, I have the right to refuse any rider.
Mhm.
So they're going to lose money on her side, and they're going to lose money on his side now because they deactivated him over that. Now, if he was rude to her and he said some really nasty things to her, that's a different situation. But
you can hear the video. He mentioned
I haven't seen it.
that she won't fit in his car, and that she should have used XL. And I mean, he was just a typical. He sounded Indian. He was not. He didn't come across to me as saying anything that was terrible.
But you're not a liberal bleeding heart, Scott.
No.
When he said you should have used XL or something like that, even that, I don't. You get a Lincoln Navigator out there. Unless you flip the damn front seat, the middle seat down, and she sits in the very back, I don't know whether there's still enough room.
And there was people in the comments that were drivers for some of these services talking about having to help push people in the cars and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's why I don't drive people. I'll never do it. I can. Ain't gonna happen.
Now I know a lady who she does. She drives for a company like Lyft and Uber, but it's not one of those companies. And all she does is, take people around to doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And she's got a, I don't know what model Lincoln it is, but the damn back door on that thing must be 6 feet long. And it was a standard model Lincoln, like a Continental or Town Car or something like that, but it's an old one. And the only reason she has it is because she can elderly people and people with disabilities can get in and out of her car good. Now she makes damn good money, and she gets, because most of it's being paid for by Medicaid. But
there's plenty of people that do those ride services that have larger vehicles, like my minivan. There would be no problem with this lady getting in and out of the back of the minivan, because the way the Toyota is made, the seats go way back. I mean, Jacob is.
I would guess there's still a problem with her getting in and out, but
yeah, I'm with you on that. And
and
time is money.
I think. Well, no, I think she was looking for a lawsuit, no matter what.
Yeah,
that's my guess on this one.
Her rapping
and him being foreign, it and the sentiment that's going on with that sort of thing right now. Yeah, she saw easy money. That's all she saw.
Because time, any of these things, Lyft, the food delivery from Walmart, whatnot, time is money.
I have the right as a Walmart driver to not deliver to you under certain conditions. If there's a dog out in your driveway, I don't have to deliver to you. That kind of thing. So if there's a danger to me or to my vehicle, I don't have to deliver to you. And so that guy had the right.
But if it takes 20 minutes for her to get in and 20 minutes to get out, and she's got a 30-minute trip, you've burned up, an hour for the same money.
I would have still let that woman try, though, to get in, because that's the way I would operate. But it is what it is.
But would he be able to still charge her if she couldn't get in after he wasted 20 minutes trying to get her to get in?
No, I think you still have to. You still have to give him a ride somewhere. If you watch these Uber drivers on YouTube, they kick people out of their car all the time. Drunk people,
Yeah. Yeah, this one girl threw up in the back seat of this one guy's, and I think it's all set up because I didn't think they were allowed to record inside the car.
You can record for your safety.
So, who is it that you deliver for?
Me?
Yeah,
Walmart right now.
is it just Walmart or is it the Spark thing or?
Spark, yeah.
Okay,
Walmart owns Spark.
what's the difference between that and Plus?
Well, when you order from Plus and you get it delivered to you, it's going to be a Walmart Spark driver.
Oh, okay, all right, thank you. See, y'all learned something. You hadn't had to listen to all this bullshit for nothing. Now you learned something.
What is wrong with people? So I'm looking up an item that's on
The guy that delivered to you this morning was a Spark driver.
it's on clearance at Walmart. The cheapest price in my area is $74. This thing weighs it's a Hart tool set. It probably weighs 12 pounds, 13 pounds, and so it's gonna cost a little bit to ship. How do you sell it for 90 plus 10 shipping for $100? You know, why do people go through all the trouble to find such great deals and sell it on eBay and make no fucking money because they can't math?
It's because they can't. They're buying into these.
If you sell it for
programs.
$90, your minimum fees are going to be what, $14.
They're buying into these programs that tell them they can make easy money.
So if you sell it for 90 and you bought it for 74, which is the cheapest that is on clearance right now anywhere, because that happened to be the low price when I was searching. We just happened to be there. You're going to lose and charge $10 shipping. You just lost. You did all that. You did all that work to go track it down, find it, to sell it on eBay, to lose fucking money, and then you know what you're going to do? You're going to blame everything about, this is not selling. This is not. That's the reason why I'm going to have to go find a job. And it's because you can't math.
Who was that?
Sounds like
Because
a
you can't
chain.
math.
That must have been Todd.
No, I saw
John,
the,
you're not right.
I saw an Amazon Echo Dot.
John, you're not right, son.
Not a lot of money in those, is there?
No, but when you only pay $3 for it, it's all for $25 plus shipping.
I have one. I got a yard sale for like $1. It works.
Yeah.
I just haven't had it listed yet.
Yeah, so
I bought it to replace mine because mine wasn't working. Then I finally figured out how to get mine working. And
there are lots of things that I pick up that are, if it's under $3 or $4 and there's a couple pictures, there's not really anything to it. I will.
I bought a couple of those routers. Those Google. I can't think of. You know what I'm talking about? Those little white router.
Yeah,
things.
the Orbeez or whatever they are, or something.
No, they make the Nest system or what? Not
Right.
Nest, but the mesh system. I bought a couple of those at a thrift store not that long ago, and it took a while to figure out how to test them, but I got them tested, and those will make some decent money. Sell the two together, but I got them cheap, so.
Correct. I have a pair of those for sale too. I think I paid like $5 for the pair.
I have the system already, so it's already set up for me. So to test them wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I love my Google Wi-Fi system. It's awesome. It works great.
Like yesterday on Tom's show, I had some cups I picked up. One of them was a Starbucks swell combination. I paid $1 for it. I think I'll get like 24 plus shipping. Several other of them were all $1, and they sell them at the same range. I'm like, just $1.
That should have been on Mr. Todd's show because I didn't do a show yesterday.
Oh, Todd show, your show, whatever. I forgot that you were
Same thing, ain't it?
No, I was sick at the doctor's office. But you talking about doing math. Don't matter what kind of business you have. Excuse me. You have to do the math. Remember the guy that came on? It's been years ago. That came on to the fulfilled by Amazon, the FBA scene, and he spent like $1 million on credit cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that RB3 or whatever his name was.
And then all of a sudden, he was going back to his corporate job. He didn't
a
do
lot
the
of those
math.
guys. I didn't do the math. That's why I got in so much credit card debt.
Does Tom do
I
stuff?
realized we realized it sooner than other people. I didn't spend $1 million, thank God. But
Well, I say $1 million. He spent a lot of money.
it's easy to do when you're not thinking long term. Now, these things can pay for themselves. They can pay for Amazon, but then I didn't do the math to pay for my regular bills. So we're still upside down, even though I was making a profit on the stuff. So you got to add in that as well when you're a small business like we are. And I just never thought, I never considered, wasn't doing the math.
Todd's sitting over there being quiet because all he knows he's got to do is turn around there and hit that little light switch, cut that pump on in his backyard, and pump out a barrel or two of crude oil, and his bills are paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're rolling in all that cash down here. We don't know where to spend it. I'm thinking about building the rest of the wall myself.
Okay. Because everybody in Texas has an oil well in their backyard. Texas Bandit's probably got 4 or 5 out on his plot.
But it's something that people are so worried about. What to buy, and they're so focused on, and they never understand the math, the logistics behind, whether an item. They never evaluate it financially to understand whether the item is a good buy or not.
And you just can't think of it in terms of, are you going to make a profit on it? You got to think of in terms of it, I'm going to make a living on it, because that's where we screwed up. We weren't making a living. We were making a profit, but we weren't making a living.
Because these toolkits, I'm sitting here looking. There's stores in my area. One's got 4, a couple of them have got 2. They're all $74 each. And I'm like, this is originally a $200 item. Normally you're getting to the point where you should be able to make money on it, but you got to evaluate. That's a complicated product. So it's a Hart product, which is Walmart. It's Walmart brand for tools. That means it's generally not going to be on Amazon, because Amazon generally doesn't want their direct competitors, private label brand on their site. Somebody will make a listing. It'll be terrible. And it'll be risky. So I won't sell it there. Then you'll look at eBay, and you're dealing with, I just picked the one that was 90 plus 10. There were 7 or 8 people who had sold it in that same price, because,
It
you
sounds
follow the
like
crowd with stupidity.
some guru told them to go out and buy it, and they did, and they didn't even think about it.
Can you ship it for 10?
No,
I guess.
Well,
Oh,
it
was that
depends on where it's going.
no, it's the package is probably 16 by 12 by 12, and it weighs 12 or 13 pounds.
Yeah.
It's $12 to $15 a ship.
Are the tools any good?
Hart's not a bad brand.
Hart's not a bad brand, but in the thing you get 2 batteries, and you get a drill driver, a sawzall, and something that looks like a light.
When you're selling those on eBay, you're probably selling to somebody who already has that ecosystem, who's using Hart tools already, and they're buying it because it fits in with their
Okay,
stuff.
so there is a way to. You could probably make money, and I might pick up one to try it. You could break it apart.
That's what I was just thinking about.
You could break it apart and sell those. You can
Batteries
sell
are
those
cheap.
items open box on eBay.
It would be interesting to take a brand new product like that and do a test and see, okay, the battery alone sells for $40, and this battery, and you got 2, so that's $80, and then you've got the drill or the saw or whatever it comes with, and the charger can sell for good money. So it would be interesting to try that concept sometime. Brand new item.
So it comes with a flashlight, a sawzall, a drill, and then the driver.
Or you could sell the flashlight with the battery and the drill with the
Some of-
battery.
it looks like it has some of them. I don't know if this one does or not. Some of them have bonus, like a little piece of tools and stuff in them. Let's see if they all do. This person take more than one picture.
Yeah, lag.
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking about.
Okay, so that's where you're finding drop shippers that are doing this crazy shit because
Some of them.
it's one stock picture. They had 10. They sold them all for $115. But still, where are you
barely
drop
breaking
shipping
even on
from? Seller does not accept returns. I mean,
is it just me, or maybe I shouldn't look at the Facebook groups, but to this day, people are still complaining about. I said no returns in my video or in my listing, and they sent it back as an INAT. Well, just accept returns, please. Just do it.
so the problem is here. Someone has taken out the driver, the impact driver, and they have sold it for $19.99 free shipping.
Just a
Can't make-
driver.
You can't make this shit up. I mean,
Yeah. So even if you break it apart, people are still doing that, but they're still being stupid about it.
here's somebody that sold it for $69 plus 20 shipment, so they got $89. It's looks like the two batteries together they sell for 75. So there's the money is in the batteries.
Always is. I remember I had a really nice Craftsman drill back when Craftsman was still a good thing, back in the 90s. And I went to buy a new battery for it because my battery died. And it was like $120 just for the freaking battery. And the drill, you could buy the drill with the battery for the same price. So it didn't make any sense to just buy the battery.
A guy that does some work for me every once in a while. He's a handyman type guy. He watches Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, all of these places, or his wife does for him, looking for like when they have these sets of battery powered tools on sale, because he goes through batteries like there's no tomorrow. And so when he finds he'll find a set that he's getting a couple of batteries out of for the price, and all this other crap for the price of one battery. She'll go over there and she'll buy whatever they have. Because he put some doors in for me, and he's got on his truck, he's got one of the toolbox trucks. I guess that's what they call it, service trucks. One of his big long doors is nothing but damn battery chargers mounted on the inside of the frame, and because he just goes through so many batteries.
My brother has a YouTube channel. That's what he does, is goes to Lowe's, Home Depot, and tells you all the deals. And then he does tool tests too. But he's got like 75,000 subscribers on his channel. It's crazy. And his channel is only maybe 2 years old now. But yeah, he does really well with that sort of content. But he's also, telling you where the deals are at these stores too. And he physically goes to the stores and shows them to you.
And this says, Todd, you're lying. She's perfect.
If you know anything about tools and have a good personality and want to do a YouTube video, that is a genre to get into, man. Those tool guys are
Damn, I guess
very loyal to their tools.
You gotta have a personality. Damn it.
No, well, no.
Damn it.
I don't know anything about tools, so I can't do a channel like that. But
Joanna, long time no see.
There's always something I can't believe. Yeah, so lag, you're exactly right. This is where Chris Green got his start. So he worked as some kind of tool representative or something, maybe DeWalt or one of those tool brands in Home Depot, and that he knew when they were going to sell, so he bought them and heard them out where he got his start in reselling.
My wife has Chris Green's book around here somewhere. She did. She bought it when it was new, when he was promoting it. So
Dustin, that's probably the play. The 3-piece set went down to 25, and I picked up 3 of them. I'm just gonna keep my eye on this 4-piece set. So when they go, hopefully there'll be a few of them left out there when the next round goes, and I can pick up a few of those for 40 or 50 bucks.
And hopefully the people who are drop shipping them or reselling them or whatever aren't going to just lower their prices now because they're cheaper.
Is that like clearance?
Yeah,
it's clear. Go by your Walmart and see if they have any on the clearance shelves, because Walmart used to have this thing called clearance dollars that the managers had, and they could put these clearance dollars on anything. And one of the managers, when I was doing merchandising, he said that if he had something sitting on the shelves that were not moving, that he would tell his clearance person to slap some dollars on it, so their price might be cheaper than the store that's 3 miles down the road, because they're just not moving like he wants to.
So there is a convenience to the battery powered stuff. So Glenn got his room at the Wingate. So if y'all don't know what Glenn is talking about, I'll get back to the other in a second. The Natural meetup is April 25th to the 27th. Come join us. Have a good time. It's being put on by National Flippers. They did a real good job last year, so looking forward to it again this year. There's no cost other than your hotel and what you're going to eat while you're there in a few days. Go watch his video. He's on his channel. He's got a video telling about everything that's planned out. The Holiday Inn Express, the rooms are now pretty much sold out or getting close. They're in the 240, 250 range a night. I'm way too cheap for that. So Harlan and I, the Wingate is across the street. You can see it from the Holiday Inn Express, and I got rooms there for 101 a night. So it was like 240 all in. It's less than one night, so so basically I got clearance hotel rooms pretty much. And yeah, I got to remind Jennifer. Jennifer, are you watching this? If you are, this is your reminder to reserve your room at the Wingate before you get priced out of there too. But Glenn was there. A lot of us were there. 242 both nights. That's what I paid to Glenn. So Harlan and I, she might be wife by the time we get to that point. So you never know. I know they'll be there. Joni and I'll be there. There's quite a bit of people gonna be there. Hey, come meet Slump Favorites.
I will not be there this year.
Jennifer will be there. Candy Freedom, Mr. Jacob will be there. Jacob was mean to me last night. Me and Phoebe were trying to take a nap in the recliner. He woke my ass up. What the heck?
I would so love to go, but with all the events of the beginning of this year, it's not going to be possible. But
so Cassie's Castaway switched hotels too. That was it. The first time when we did one, that's the hotel we were in, and so
it's a good little hotel. I liked it.
It's.
We did have to change rooms the first year, I think it was, because we had a leak from the room upstairs coming down into our room.
It's been remodeled since then too, and it was already okay. Wingate it just bought it back then.
Yeah, it was good.
But it's definitely. I'd rather take that money and spend it on yard sales versus a hotel room.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to the actual title of the show that we haven't talked about yet, it's
we mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah, making relationships, and this is a good way to do it.
Oh, 100%. I can guarantee you that you'll meet people here. You'll meet all wonderful people in person. People that I know. Rural Squirrel, Kristen. She said she was going to be there. There'll be several YouTubers there. We're trying to talk Tom into it. Tom, Larry, and Todd. We're trying to talk all of them into it. Now Todd's going to say he's got a puppy he can't leave.
Can't leave my pup.
I really wish I could go. I really could go.
Joni said that last night, Glenn, that you should probably do an Airbnb. It'd probably be more fun and cheaper.
That'd mean people would have to be in the same house with you.
You can always close the door.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't make me show you my BB gun and get us kicked off the air right now.
Yeah, please don't do that. Because I'm going to tell you what, they will kick you off right freaking now.
Did you get any sort of strike on your channel?
I haven't seen anything. I actually mentioned.
I don't know what community guidelines or something.
Because it was a pew, and it didn't have the little orange tip on it.
Yeah, and then so David, Dave, we did that in Florida. Had a good time. It was a lot of fun having everybody in the same spot. And so that's the idea of the hotel. Everybody being at the same hotel. I mean, just because you're at the Wingate doesn't mean you can't walk or ride right, the half a block or the block, whatever it is, to the other
Not even
hotel and
that
hang
far.
out.
You can walk out one door and we'll almost walk into the other, if I remember
So I
right.
see all these people. I see these people. One guy's a reseller on TikTok. He's really doing well with TikTok affiliate, and every now so he's in I think the Navy. He's a plumber in the Navy. So every now and then he gets shipped to wherever for to work on projects, and he'll like, I'm going to go eat breakfast today. He'll see how many hotels he can just walk into and eat their breakfast for free.
I mean, it
And
would be really easy, to be
and
honest.
then he also goes to the front desk and asks for soap and all kinds of shit. They give him all kinds of shit.
Just
Yeah, Nessa, you're right.
just act like in high school. I had a friend, Paul Schrey. I don't know what happened to Paul. I know he lives out this way somewhere. But anyway, we used to skip class all the time. And he's the best advice he ever gave me. Just act like you're supposed to be there. And we could walk anywhere in that school, and nobody ever questioned us because we acted like we were supposed to be there.
Yeah, if we only knew somebody who had Airbnb and could help us find something in Nashville. Isn't that right, Jacob?
Jacob needs to buy something down there. Anissa, do your girls are still in high school? Do they have to have ID badges on when they go to school?
Actually, like ID that they wear all day long.
Yeah, like Podunk High student.
So here's one here's a house. This is the one. It's the entire home, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. It is $8.99 a night, so it would cost $2,400 before taxes, with all the cleaning fees and everything. It's got 5 bedrooms, 10 beds, 4 baths. It's 15 guests.
That would be a bad deal.
That's the way. So hold on a second. Let me share screen.
We did one in the Outer Banks one time. One of those big old houses right on the ocean. I guess it would be similar to an Airbnb nowadays, but that wasn't a thing then. And man, that was kind of neat.
See, there you go. Everybody can pile into that house.
That's a nice looking house. Big old dining area there. Entire home.
And you don't have to walk nowhere.
10 beds, 4 baths.
Right. Might find it cheaper.
Yeah, you just look. I mean,
That's a night, $8.99 a night.
Yeah, I mean,
You wouldn't have to rent that out too many times, would you?
this one says peaceful home in Nashville.
that's probably $1 million.
This one's
plus
three bedrooms, 7 guests, $212 a night. So it'd be 7.
I'm thinking
That'd
about turning my house into an Airbnb.
It'd be $654 before taxes. You get the whole house. That's the one. That's the way to do it. That way you got.
There's if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses. Go across the street, go down 5 houses. There's an Airbnb there. Seems rather busy.
Back when the DNC was in Charlotte, a friend of mine has a 2-bedroom condo uptown. Man, he was getting $800 a night for that condo. He just went and stayed with his mama. $800 a night. Excuse me.
If I say move to North Carolina someday, this would be a good location to have an Airbnb in the summertime. In the wintertime, it would suck. We got a really nice beach here, and people travel for different
It look like
events.
Todd's house, yeah. But I'm telling you, the relationships you'll build there, you'll meet, just good down home people. People that do what you do, you'll be amazed what you learn. Just just from conversations with people in person, you'll be absolutely amazed.
There you go, John.
The quality of people you'll meet. $100 for an 8-ounce sanitizer bottle. Yeah, that was awesome. B&B's. I bet all the B&B's near all the universities probably do well, especially.
We were getting $20 for Dollar Tree sanitizer, but I sold so much of that stuff. Oh my god! And we were buying 50 bottles at a time at a Dollar Tree. They didn't care. Sold it to us.
Yeah, the one that was really cool. One of the events last year, one of the lunches on Saturday was at I forget the name of the restaurant, but it was one of these. They seat you by table. It took probably an hour and 20 minutes to get seated. We were all out as each table cleared, and so you'd sit with people you didn't, just whoever. And so that was it was the plates all shared. It was shared, so it was just a flat cost per person.
Like family style.
Family style. That was very good food and very interesting. The couple and their kids that were at our table, it was his wife's favorite restaurant, and they ate. They're from Nashville, and they ate there quite a bit. And but it's very interesting. Very cool restaurant. Jennifer, this is your reminder. Book your hotel today at the
Wingate.
the Wingate in Goodlettsville before all these people take up all the rooms. Because it'll be the first week of April, and you can go, I really meant to do that. Go do it right now.
You have to sleep in your car if you don't.
Stop what you're doing right now. And I know how you are.
You have to sleep in your car over in the Kroger's parking lot.
What's the name of that town?
Goodlettsville. It's north of Nashville. 15 minutes north of Nashville.
Not very far. It's close.
No, it's a nice community.
The biggest Dollar General you ever see there. Well, it's really not a Dollar General.
There's two of them. It's because it's their headquarters.
That's their headquarters, yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So if you're a Dollar General aficionado, you'll get to see their headquarters. Yeah, we don't want many of those. What else is going on in the world of reselling? April 25th through the 27th. It's a Friday through a Sunday.
There was something I saw in the world of reselling that I thought we should talk about. And, because my memory is so good, 30 seconds later, I lost the idea what it was. So
Right.
there was something that changed. I was going to bring it up on the show, and I forgot. Maybe if I browse Facebook, I'll see it again.
Yeah, the shipping thing is very interesting right now with UPS with UPS and USPS not having a contract and UPS having to deliver the last mile. All of a sudden, I'm not shipping as much UPS. They've gradually, I don't think they've really announced it, but they've gradually raised their. Jennifer, we're going Friday. We'll leave here Friday and be there Friday Eve afternoon. It's only 100 miles for us max.
If you're not worried about canceling, it's $95.58 a night for a king. Nope, that's sold out.
And so, like yesterday, there were 3 of them I could have said UPS, but because I'm like, you know what, it's like 10 cents, 20 cents. I'll just take it to the post office while I'm going. All packages went post office yesterday, which was strange.
Jesus.
That's probably the Facebook group. National Flippers do a nice job. There's a Facebook group where everybody tells where they are and what they're doing. There's nothing that's like, the nice thing about this is there's no pressure because you're not paying for, so you're not, no pressure to think somebody's going to teach you something because you might miss something because you paid, you know, some guru or whatever to be there so that they can make a lot of money off of you. It's just uh, Ray does a lot of the work, and it's just for his. It's the same way me and Phil were doing. It's we like meeting people, you know, give people in the South an affordable option. Nashville's a great place, lots to do. You know, if you decided you wanted to go out Saturday night and do whatever on your own, there's nothing that stops you. How did the uh I didn't I know they did lag. I just don't know I don't know what they did to get it back. So between now and next Wednesday, I'll reach out to Steve and get him to tell me what he did, what if it was anything special, or if they just finally took the Walmart receipts. Um,
He was big on just using receipts. I remember I had a good conversation with him last time we were in Nashville, and that was his. He said he had never used invoices at all.
yeah, I've met
Apparently
those
that
guys.
finally caught him.
I've met Steve and Sean a couple times, three times. Really good guys.
Easy to talk to. Those guys are easy to talk. Well, one of them. The other one don't talk much.
It is so weird. So the Thrifton brothers are. If you haven't heard me tell you how strange they are. So if you watch any of their, I don't think I've made a video in quite a while. If you watch their videos, Sean will do all the talking and do the videos, but in person, and Steve never says a word in the videos. In person, Sean never says a word, and Steve does all the talking. It is so, it is so strange. But they couldn't be nicer guys. I've enjoyed the talking to those guys, but it's just you never know if the person that on the camera could be like me could be the introvert, and I get it. I totally get it. But the weird one is Steve not being the introvert, not talking on camera, which is strange.
Okay, what am I doing here?
So sometimes it's just easier for people. I talk a lot more on camera than I would ever do in public. I'll tell you that. Although once you get me talking, it's hard to stop me, unfortunately. And some weird shit comes out of my mouth, but
You got to bring Doug sometimes. But you know, there'll be opportunities to follow people around the yard sales. I would tell you, you can follow me around the yard sales, but good luck keeping up.
if you're gonna follow him, don't follow him. Ride with him.
There's only one seat available because Joni and Jennifer, and I haven't. I figured out how we're going to figure out the other seat, but Joni and Jennifer have 2 of the 3 seats.
Scott,
Have
is
an
that,
auction. A lot.
hold
Of
a second. The Wingate, is that on Northgate Circle?
sounds right.
I've got some kind of map up here.
You should know where the hell you going, Scott.
No,
There's
I think that sounds
sections.
right.
There's like sections up there. Put a cross section. There's a reselling section. There's a YouTube section. There's like a perverted porn section and just trash. And so I didn't have map up there anywhere. There you go.
Can you mute that Tom guy?
It does sound familiar though. Northgate Circle. He said mute. We can still hear him.
Nobody else can though, so it's a good mute for them.
Oh, okay. So we can hear him when he's in the off stage, but nobody else can. I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
He didn't know. He didn't even know he was off.
But yeah, that's I can't. If you've never been to a meetup, I can't tell you what you're missing out. Just to spend 3 days with people who it'll be a blast. You know, there's a group that go to the flea market. We'll probably wander through there Saturday afternoon. Those groups going to the bins. If you didn't know, Nashville has 2 bins. The old bins and then the newer bins.
Yeah.
There's plenty of thrifting up there. If estate sales are your thing, 25 to 30 estate sales a week. Just because it's a large area, people pass. We're doing yard sales. I know Harlan and I are going to do yard sales. We'll go separate ways, but we were in the same area last time. JT wants to know. Okay, so Jennifer's booked. All right, good.
And I'm booked.
And Tom, oh my God, y'all gonna get to meet Tom in
Yeah,
person.
it's spitting out a lot of.
I am booked.
All right, Todd, you gotta go ahead and book yours too. Damn it.
I'm thinking about it. What's the cutoff date? Is there like a last?
No, because there's really no registration. You know, I think they don't have tickets or anything. Is there a registration yet? They had one last year. Let's look and see.
Rooms are getting filled up because
Uh,
it was $289.99 for 2 nights,
oh, it just went up, man, because it was 242.
and that's for a queen room.
Better get it now.
Girl,
Well, if it's a queen, you can double book and cut yourself in half. There you go. So it's time. There is a register. So there's a registration form.
Yeah,
Let's do it
so
because they'll make little name tags and stuff.
thanks, Tim.
yeah, I did Northgate too.
Pretty sure that's the right one.
Yeah, Todd. Timothy says you can bring your toothbrush holders.
Mhm.
You can hand them out as a freebie.
So the registration is on Jot form. It's pretty damn easy. It's just name, contact number. Do you have a guess? What's their name?
Yeah, they're just looking to see how many people are coming. That's
Yeah,
all.
they just want to know. They just want an idea how many people are coming. All right.
I'm thinking about it, Jennifer. I don't know.
I really wish I could. I really do.
Gwen says she's not that interested, and I don't want to drive, so
Even my wife
Driving.
this year, but
it's a long way from here.
it's almost 10 hours for us.
It's almost Scott miles.
What the heck is a Northgate, Jennifer? It's Wingate.
Northgate Drive is where it.
Oh, Northgate Drive. Okay. North Creek Drive.
North
That's
Creek
North
something.
Creek. That's the Holiday Inn Express. That's the official one.
Uh,
Be
I
cheaper.
knew it was North something if I remember from a couple of years ago.
The Wingate is much cheaper. So there you go. And then there's other hotels. If those hotels fill up, there's other ones around the corner too. Um, there's a Country Inn and Suites that's like half a mile from there. It's about $100 a night. So you can find yeah, Lag. You need to come on. They got pancakes. You'll feel right at home.
They have a nice little. I know the Wingate has a nice little continental breakfast, or they did when we were there.
Thanks for the offer, Jennifer.
Better than continental. You could get eggs and everything.
Yeah, that's the least of your worries, Todd. We'll pick you up. We don't care. We'll pick you up.
um,
I might put you in the cargo hold on top, but it's. I'm telling you, folks. I'm gonna spend a lot of time talking about this every now and then, and you're gonna hear the same thing over and over, just because. And it's. I think it's an important thing if you've never done before for your business to really just spend some time. You know, especially if you don't have local meetups and you don't have the opportunity to spend, you don't know the value of spending time with people that understand the business you're in, the networking and the relationship building. You just until you understand it. I think yesterday I didn't talk to Jennifer yesterday, but you know I talked to her probably 5 days a week, and it's good to have somebody like that who you can bounce ideas off of, concerns. You need somebody just that can understand. We have bitch sessions all the time. One of those to go, this is terrible. I hate that you got to listen to this, but yeah, I need somebody to listen to this, and you need that friend that because you talk you off a ledge, can do whatever. I'm telling you, you'll meet lots of folks they're just absolutely cool people. I'm gonna do this one this year. I'm gonna try to find another one to do this year too.
We need somebody to make one up here. I've always wanted to have one in Columbus, Ohio, because there's a lot of thrifting opportunities there. I mean, there's a lot of thrift stores in Columbus.
Oh yeah, I like thrifting in Columbus. I've thrifted Columbus. That's
The last time we went, we spent 2 full days thrifting and still didn't hit all the thrift stores. So there's a lot. So if there's anybody who wants, I'm not going to do it because I live too far. But
there's lots of retail arbitrage opportunities there too.
yeah, that's why we went.
Hey, if go to Columbus and steal all Wick stuff. There you go.
Well, he's closer to Dayton, but I'm sure he thrifts Columbus too, and just doesn't.
I'd be willing to bet money. Nashville's only 0.5% Lutheran there. Jacob, you'll lose that bet. The key is on the. If the van makes it there, I've got the key. So there you go. You'll lose that bet.
Wow.
Unless you're betting on the correct side that I've taken care of my old man disease and will have the keys with me.
Need to get you some keypad locks for that thing.
Oops.
It'll be that was terrible. It'll be hey, you have to watch the videos I make there. You might see Todd in real life because I put him on the camera and just not tell you who that person is.
Anybody ever flown Southwest?
That would be awesome. Southwest? Yeah, I've flown Southwest.
Are they?
If I showed up, everybody would say, "Who's this son of a bitch?"
It's a normal airline. Just they don't have there's not a lot of frills. It's the original of the no frill airlines. I've never had a problem with Southwest.
I'm silly enough. I'm silly enough to fly Spirit.
I would fly. I wouldn't because it's 8 hours from here.
I got to drive 8 hours tomorrow, Tom.
Where are you going?
Your area.
Oh, you're gonna be here. How long are you gonna be here?
Probably a week. Her mom's getting out of rehab tomorrow or Friday, so we're gonna drive down tomorrow. Probably spend a week, help her get so like acclimated. So,
Right.
Back to being at home and.
Well, if feeling non-contagious and whatnot, I'll hit you up maybe this weekend, and maybe I'll drive up to Hickory and Morganton.
So Todd, that would be great. I'll just make regular videos and
lunch at Abley's.
If you happen to be in it, just never say anything to you or anything, and people will have seen you and never knew it.
That's not right. It don't matter much if you really want to know what I look like. It's pretty easy to do now.
You'll be like Kaiser Sose.
I like staying off camera so I can scratch my armpit and not have anybody comment on it.
It's not like you got a cat's ass walking right in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
So relationships. Who else do you have relationships with for your business?
My best one is the post office.
Post office. Yeah, I give them gift cards, and we're best buds at the post.
And
office.
just to be, a lot of it too is just being kind and understanding. So yesterday I got to the post office at 3:45, like I always do. I'm the last one's in there. I don't have scan sheets because it cheats them on the. She said she'd rather scan them in versus having scan sheets. And so Jason's off on Tuesday, so the postmaster is there. She's up there trying to run the window. She's on the phone answering questions. And she hangs up the phone. There's people behind me. And I looked at Letitia. I'm like, I'm telling the postmaster you're up here on the phone. And she started laughing. She goes, tell her, when you talk to me, tell me it's only on Tuesdays. And she starts laughing. And I hand her these 2 bags. And she looks around. She's like, where she's going to put them so she can remember to scan them to get credit for them. And I'm like, you can just keep the bags. I'll pick them up tomorrow. and you can see the relief on her face. She just sat him down and went back
What
to
I
doing
do.
whatever. Went back to helping the next person. I'm like, Tisha, I'll wave at you tomorrow, and I'll deal with Jason tomorrow. I hope,
So
I hope, I
my
hope your
post
day's
office,
over with. But she's so nice, and if
I have these big reusable bags that I take in. We have our name written on the inside of them, although I don't really need to do that anymore. And I just set them on the counter and walk out because they know me so well in there. They don't care. They don't want a scan sheet because if I take a scan sheet, they only get credit for one package.
correct.
If I don't take a scan sheet, then they get credit for all of them for funding, and they want credit for all of them. So I don't do scan sheets.
Yeah, and that was mine. I had probably 13, 14 packages yesterday. And because they close at 4 and then the truck doesn't come till 5. So they've got an hour after they close. And so, even if they have a line when they're closing, she'll scan them real quick after they lock the doors, or Jason will. And so, it's a good time to come. It allows me to ship everything up until the last minute. It also gives them time when there's no line to take care of the packages. So it works out.
There's another benefit to having a good relation. I can go to the back dock at 6 a.m. and drop my packages there,
Yep.
and they don't care.
Yep.
Anybody else, they would have a problem with it, but because we built up such a relationship, they're cool with it. I can go in there. I can go into the office, and I found that the door is open, even though it's not supposed to be. I can go in there and put them in anytime at night I want to, and they're not going to yell at me because I do so much business with them.
So here's a cool one. So yesterday, I'm talking about post office. Yesterday, I was coming out of the thrift store, the one that's right by the post office, and a postal guy. His name was Eric. He worked in the back. He's got some cool trucks, cool vehicles. So we always talk about cars. When I'm like, I ain't seen you in a while. He said, I retired, and I'm like, and so now you're playing in thrift stores. He goes, I'll show you what I'm doing. And so he buys different clothes and different jeans. And he made like 2 pairs of jeans into a purse. He's like,
oh, cool.
Yeah. He's like, I need to know. I'm like, I was like, dude, that looks so professional. You're really good at this. He made some things in the back, leather coats in the backpacks, all kinds of cool stuff. And he's like, how do you ship this stuff? And I'm like, man, the shipping is the hard part, but the shipping is not hard to learn. And I told him, I gave him one of my YouTube cards, and I'm like, that's really something to do with Etsy. And that stuff would be really good on Etsy, the mate. And so, because he's looking for something to do, he loves the yard sales and that kind of stuff. And it was just cool that to see him at the post office and see him a lot over there. Now he's doing a lot of the same things, and so after all the help they've given me over there, I have the chance to I don't know anything about Etsy, but I'm like, dude, I can find a YouTuber or someone that can become recommended. That you can watch that would teach you how to do the shipping. The shipping is
it's easy over there.
It's not the difficult part.
We have such a good relationship with our local carrier, actual carrier that comes to the house. That she thanked me one day for shoveling the sidewalk because nobody else does. And it's snow in Ohio sometimes gets really rough, and she can't walk down the sidewalk. So I'll try to do all the way to both neighbors, which is a good distance. She was so appreciative that one day she came up and gave me a giant hug while I was out there shoveling. She's just, and that's what you want with your postal worker. You want somebody who appreciates you.
And it's hot here, and I've got a cooler in here, even though it's a mess. And Calvin's my UPS driver, and I'm like, dude, I got a cooler here. It's always got water and drinks in it. You're welcome to it anytime, any day you're here, which is pretty much every day. How's that? Just open
ours is retiring. She's older lady, and so unfortunately we're going to lose that relationship. But she'll come to our yard sales when we have them. She really likes our yard sales.
But a lot of them are simple. Y'all gotta act like y'all from the South. If you watch any of my videos, and I'm gonna make a lot of yard sale videos this year, everybody greets you in the South. It's very very cordial, very very friendly down here, outgoing, and it's those kind of things where you're just a lot of people are just general acknowledgement puts you at a better situation. And it's something I've had to force myself to do because I'm not generally that person. But anything that benefits, gets me better prices. How many times if you haven't spoken to the person at a yard sale and then you want to know if they've got anything else, or if they because a lot of people, you got any old cameras, any sports cars, any video game, any of the normal questions. It's much easier to get to that conversation if you've actually spoken to the person.
Yeah, you don't have to have a long-term relationship with people. You just have to have a relationship long enough to be mutual beneficial to both of you. At a yard sale, for example, like that. Being nice to them goes a long way. My favorite time is when there's another person there being a jackass. And then as soon as that jackass leaves, you can be the good guy.
Yeah. So
And
what
you,
does
you get a lot for that.
Southern Vermont manager, when we used to drop UPS at those off. So you talking about at the post office? If you're one of those people. What the hell? You're not you're not supposed to do that because the post office loses in that scenario because UPS is supposed to take it the long distance and USPS was supposed to do the last mile. So if you forced the post office to do it all, they didn't get paid to do it all.
Yeah, they're not getting paid for that first drop. And your local post office isn't getting credit for that at all.
Right.
Even though they scan it in.
So I've got a good relationship with my auction house I use a lot.
That's a good one.
I've got 16 lots that I won on Sunday evening, and I haven't paid for it yet. And they let me do that because they know
they also let you stack up a couple weeks at a time.
Yeah, they let me do like 2 auctions in a row without even paying, and then I'd just show up and we knew you were good for it. But
And so our van mass is the same way. If I buy something, they'll automatically deduct it out of what I sold. It'll be sitting on my tables when I get there. Instead of doing the pickup on Friday, I just pick it up on Monday when I'm gonna be there anyway. It's Big John he's a super nice guy.
they always have my order pulled. I don't have to walk around the auction room and so that's mine.
I can't wait till we have a real auction house around here. We just don't.
But it's a lot of it. Too many people think it has to be a relationship has to be so complicated, and a lot of it is just how you interact and treat people. That really.
Yeah, you remember when Golden Finger Baker went into that Oriental ladies thrift shop and the relationship he built with her? That was fun.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. It's just simply being so many people are so combative these days that they care so much about identity politics and all that stuff. Man, most people don't care. They're just regular people
trying to get. It's a metal pick that I use for cleaning things.
Yeah.
But I like
something. Don't leave that sitting on your chair when you get up.
No, that would. This is a really heavy duty one. I forget where I got these. Walmart, maybe.
Yeah, they're fighting the same battle as you are. They're fighting increasing prices and life being harder, and everybody has their own personal problems to deal with. So if you're just someone who's cordial and kind, you stand out as different because it's sad that it is that way today, but it truly is. That's what Steve's going to make himself a sweater after the show.
No, it's just that pick. I think I have ADHD pretty bad, and it just keeps me a little focused to have something in my hand to play with.
Is it beneficial to build relationships with estate sale companies?
Oh, 100%. So one of the ones here, they know what I buy, and every now and then I'll go by there and she'll go, I hadn't seen you in a little while. There's a bag of remotes laying right here somewhere. I've just been collecting them. They know what you buy. On the last day, they'll work with you. Last hour ago, if you'll take all this, it'll be this deal. One of the guys who works at the one that was yesterday, his name is Mark. Mark's always in the garage. I'm like, it's not bad now, but Mark, when it gets hot, man, you suffer. But Mark's also an eBay seller, and so we talk about that and different locations and different ideas. And unless you spoke to Mark and spent a couple minutes understanding, and it was really weird. The last one that I went to with them, his wife was on the inside, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to mess with Mark. She's like, yeah, give him a hard time. It's just you meet cool people, the people that work there, the owners.
Yeah.
One of my estate sales, they know what I buy, and she pointed out something. She's like, I'm like, you don't have much here that I generally buy, and she's like, did you see that over there? She said, I think that's worth this, and I've got it priced pretty good, and I did buy it and sell it. So yeah, estate sales are the same thing.
Yeah, about 6 or 7 of the Lutheran rummage sale folks come and say, "Hey, come here, look at this," and generally I'll buy it because a lot of them are like old like me or older,
Oh
and
my goodness, not old
some,
like
some of them have really good picking eyes.
Used to have a manager at the local Goodwill who we built up a really good relationship with, and he'd hold things out because he knew I was looking for specific types of things. And unfortunately, nowadays, corporate has stepped in and has made that impossible. He's not there anymore anyway, but so it's harder. But if there's a guy in the back room there, well, actually, I think he just quit too. But anyway, we had a really good relation, and I would find things for him at yard sales that he was looking for, and give them to him, because I knew that he had my back at the Goodwill when I went there. So
yeah. So like I'll see Mark at that say so company on Friday, and every now and then he or the owner will say, man, next week's a huge one. We haven't posted it yet, or it's being posted the next couple of days, but it's not an estate sale to miss. It's just I mean, they'll tell you the quality of the sales because they know based on they've been setting them up. And so you get a lot of. So if I wasn't paying attention and missed it on a Tuesday, I change my plans or do whatever. It's the relationships. No matter what you're doing, it's really important, and it's a thing that we take for granted that we just not enough people talk about.
if I lived down in North Carolina where we go, there's a junk sale every Sunday morning, and I'm very friendly with the guy when I go there, but we only go a couple times a year, so we don't see him. But every Sunday morning, rain, snows, sleet, or hail, it doesn't matter. He's there. But he's a storage unit buyer. That's the guy, if I lived there, who I would make sure to be on his good side because he's got some good stuff,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he would really, benefit my business.
so that's something that's not talked about to the point of. So Dusty's no longer with us, but Dusty, the main source of a lot of his stuff was the guy who bought storage units, and the relationship. I still see him. I still see Duck
I hope
all
you
the
don't
time at
see
yard
my
sale. It's strange that I run into Duck all the time. But Duck's family, they all yard sale and they all auction. Uh, but Dusty bought such weird stuff that this guy couldn't get rid of or couldn't use anyway. So by selling everything that he knew Dusty liked, it was more money that he made per estate sale because he bought out estates. He buys out lockers as well. Money that he wouldn't have made otherwise because the relationship that Dusty and Duck had, and it was what 10, 15, 20 years, however long it was, uh, really beneficial to both sides. I think we take that for granted that everybody sees it from the reseller side, but remember, a thrift store owner is a reseller, just the other retail reseller, and so it goes both ways. But beer, what about yard sales? The people are having the yard sale for a reason. They're trying to clear out whatever it is, raise money, clear out space, whatever. And so, it's a negative connotation. Some people, oh, you're just over there buying stuff cheap. No, it's because the people want to get rid of it. They're trying to do something in their life, and so it's a means to an end. So the relationships are both beneficial on both sides.
Okay, I'm fully booked. Room, airfare, Uber. I'm ready to go.
What are you Ubering for?
Because I'm not
From the
driving, I'm
airport?
flying in there.
Well, how are you going to get around? Wait, Scott has one extra seat, so if you
Uber,
pay him enough,
if I need to go someplace. I don't know. I might end up
No.
renting a car.
There's plenty of vehicles. There'll be plenty
there'll
of
be
vehicles.
plenty of people there, sure.
Jennifer's driving a 4Runner with one seat taken up.
He's
And
volunteering you, Jennifer.
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to. Jennifer, I won't tell him that you drive as aggressive as I do, so I won't tell him that.
You know, I can see it now.
What?
I was a very safe driver until I started doing deliveries and driving a lot, and now I drive a lot like Scott does. So,
But their vehicles are not a problem. There's plenty of opportunity. I mean, there'll be tons of folks that. I mean, even in the Toyota, just because there's only one seat in the yard sales doesn't mean the rest of the time there's not. Because I pull the way back up, there's actually 3 seats, 3 to 4. I just don't put. I gotta put the yard sale stuff somewhere. So
Well, I doubt I'd be buying anything because
Tom would hold it on his lap for you.
Yeah.
but
Big
even
giant
in time, it'd be worth riding around to the yard sales just for the
Oh
fun.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I
we-
just remembered. You get 2 free checked bags on Southwest.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we had so much. Jennifer will tell you, she rode around with me last night. We had so much fun at the yard sales. Everybody I know that went to yard sales had a blast, and it's amazing that no matter whether you were the first, second, third, or whatever these yard sales, everybody bought such wild, different stuff. It was insane. Except for Jacob, he didn't go to any yard sales.
Ouch.
Jacob went to visit. He tried to visit every Starbucks retailer in Nashville. I don't think not many people hit the thrift stores, which was kind of strange. There was not a lot of thrifting that went on with this group last year.
Jake hasn't even hit his unmute button yet, so
There we go.
I will have the cargo carrier on top.
Can you hear me now?
we can hear you now.
Yeah.
And I will even have the keys with me.
Yeah, Tom. If you need a ride from the airport or wherever, or while you're there,
Yeah,
just
we'll
holler
pick
at
you
me.
up.
I'll have plenty of extra space.
Oh well, I
Jacob
want
might be by. He might be by himself. Has David committed yet?
Not yet.
Jacob might have a car by himself, and so that's a Jeep that's got. So there's plenty of. We'll pick you up, Tom. Don't worry about that.
Well, I don't. Going from going from the airport to the hotel. That's one thing. I mean, I just got that all set up.
Okay.
Jake owes me money.
For what?
Well, baseball. We don't even know who you are. We don't know who you are to know whether we owe you money or not. So there you go.
Baseball.
It's our next adventure. We need to figure out who baseball is.
I mean, we already outed Lag, Andrew Lagerman, Ocean City Mayor.
Yeah, we know Lag.
So
might
Glenn,
You're
be
next
able to
baseball.
sneak in a costume and nobody would know who he is.
I mean,
Though.
just look at this. Glenn's got a driving a vehicle up there. He's got room too. So there's plenty. So folks, don't worry about that. Just get to Nashville.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you want to pile in the cars anyway, because I'm telling you. Except for me almost dying with David, he's welcome to come back. me and David running out of the track. Never ever let David look to the left whenever you're trying to cross traffic.
Don't let Dave's really long legs trick you.
I'm like, dude, I'm fat and old. Come on, you're killing me.
Jake, what kind of Jeep do you?
I don't think I'll be driving the van down there unless something comes up.
I'll get it.
But just folks, if you don't make plans now, folks, we're at the end of January already. For God's sake, the end of April will be here before you know it.
And I had to get an accessible room. That was the only thing that was available.
So Jennifer, it's a good thing you went ahead and reserved today then, because that hotel is going to be full too.
I'll bring my Jake. I'll bring my handicap pass. We'll hang it in the window.
Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, somebody's in the driveway because Phoebe's going nuts. We must be getting Johnny ordered something from somebody because that sounds any anybody that shows up, Phoebe. UPS, FedEx,
Attack dog.
You know, the
car
only
driver.
the only time I go into a grocery store anymore is to get like bread, milk, or vegetables. Everything else, Roberta and I have a running list, and the next thing I know, somebody from Walmart or one of those places is delivering to our door.
So Johnny likes
I like people like you, Tom.
Johnny
You know,
likes Trader Joe's, and so when she goes to her volunteer on Thursday, she'll hit Trader Joe's on the way back. For other than that,
I just because if I can go into damn Food Lion and to get a loaf of bread, and I will come out of there with $70 worth of stuff, because I will walk around going, "Oh, we needed that."
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.